Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, Bitcoin has one last level of resistance that it needs to get above before we can confirm the Bitcoin bull market. And it's this downtrend right here on the log chart. In this video, I'm going to be outlining my analysis and explaining to you guys why I think a major breakout is going to be coming to Bitcoin in the next 48 to 72 hours or so. And at the end of the video, we're going to be going ahead and doing the What's the Trade segment, where I'll show you guys exactly how to set up a trade to be profitable when and if Bitcoin does decide to break out here. But before we get into everything, guys, I first want to mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, because without the Academy, this channel would not be possible. There are currently 34 videos and over 10 hours of content in CT2A, and that's very soon going to be changing to 50 videos and more like 15 hours of content in CT2A. Everyone who is currently a member is going to be getting access to all of that new content totally for free. So if you want access to everything that there is now and everything that's coming, I highly recommend using the January 2020 coupon code linked down below. And if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel when you do that, and I wouldn't want you to miss any of the videos. But without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, there is some final resistance that we need to see Bitcoin get through, and it's sitting around $8,800 to $9,000. That is a very important zone of resistance, and the reason is because that is sitting around a lot of different levels. I'm going to break all of them down, but the first one is this longer-term downtrend here on the log chart, not on the linear chart, on the log chart for Bitcoin. As you guys will probably know, we've already gotten above the downtrend on the linear chart. We did that a couple of days ago, but now we need to get above the same downtrend on the log chart, and enough people do technical analysis on the log chart that it is going to be important, and that's sitting in between about $8,800 to $9,000. On top of that, guys, as you will know, $9,000 is a big even, and if you're in CT2A, in this video right here, Support and Resistance, we talk about the concept of big evens and why they're so important. It also ties into the concept down here in this video of math psychology. Whenever there is a number with a lot of zeros in it, like $9,000, people are naturally going to put trades around that level, and that's naturally going to make that level an important level of support or resistance, and it just so happens to be lining up pretty well with this downtrend on our log chart. But guys, that's not the only reason that $8,800 is significant. If we come here to a cleaner chart, I want to show you something. Check out what happens if we put a horizontal line right here. As you can see, there's automatically a lot of trading that's been going on around this level of around $8,950 to $9,000. I can show you there was resistance on it right over here. There was support on it. Then there was a double bottom of support on it. Then we tested resistance on it, got support on it, broke it, then tested it as resistance. And now that's the exact same level that we're testing, but at the same time, we're also testing this log downtrend. And that's important because if we zoom in here, what that means is that there's a pretty well-defined zone of resistance. It's sitting right here in between these two lines. Guys, we need to break this. We need to get above 9K. We need to get above all of that resistance, and then we're going to be off to the races. But until then, we're still kind of stuck. And that's why I've been saying for the last couple of videos, yeah, I'm very bullish, but I want to see Bitcoin confirm that bullishness. After we're above like $9,000, then we're really going to be going. There's not a whole lot of resistance above that. There is resistance, but nothing really that's going to stop a major uptrend from developing. I need to see Bitcoin get above and sustain above $9,000. We've gotten above $8,500, which was the first step, but the second step here is to get above and stay above $9,000. We need to be over 9,000! Thank you for the analysis, Goku. Anyway, jokes aside, Bitcoin needs to get above 9K if we're going to see that rally continue and if we're going to see a new bull market form. So I think you guys got that, but I want to make sure you understand that downtrend of resistance on the log chart and this flat level of resistance sitting just below $9,000 are levels that you're going to want to keep an eye on. And that's why, guys, if we look over here on this chart, we actually have this dashed line right here, and that's an entry position that I've been looking at and that I was looking to trade yesterday. And actually, if we go down here to the minute chart, just as we were looking at on the live stream earlier today, in the first cohort, this trade entry right here is sitting up here for a very special reason. Bitcoin over the last couple of hours and really over the last 24 hours has been rejecting at exactly $8,900. So I have an entry position tentatively set up here around $8,920. If Bitcoin gets above $8,920, then I might go ahead and enter a position, but I'm probably going to go ahead and change that up to around $9,050. Instead of doing a scalp trade, I'm going to do a longer term trade because Bitcoin could easily break here and rally up to 9K and then fall over, and I wouldn't want to get stuck in a trade like that. We're going to get into the What's the Trade segment here in a minute, but I want to show you all this analysis that we've been doing down here on the minute chart over in the first cohort live streams. The only first cohort is down below. And also, guys, there's some major developments going on the longer term charts that I want to show you. First of all, out here on the weekly chart, guys, this MACD cross that we've been talking about happening 2 weeks from now is probably going to happen next week now. And the reason for that is because Bitcoin has gone so green here in the last week that the MACD has converged even closer on itself. The histogram bars are falling straight up to the midline. And as you can see, it looks like we're going to have a bullish cross in the next week. When this weekly candlestick closes in about 4 or 5 days, we're probably going to see that bullish cross, and that is going to be significant. I've talked about the importance of that bullish cross in this video, which I'll link in the top right. But that's not the only development, guys. A lot of you have been asking me the question, well, Jeb, great, the bullish MACD cross on the weekly chart is happening, but what about the bearish cross on the monthly chart, Jeb? Are you ignoring that? And no, I'm not ignoring it, and I have heard you guys talking about it, and I do have an answer for it, because look at what's happening here. I don't know if you noticed, but the MACD is actually crossing bullish again on the monthly chart because Bitcoin is going so bullish on this monthly candle. Now, look, I realize there's about 16 days left in this monthly candle, but the reason I wasn't too worried about this monthly chart cross is because even though it did cross bearish, it didn't cross very bearish. And this kind of thing happens sometimes, guys, where Bitcoin will have a cross and it just kind of immediately changes its mind and then it crosses back in the other direction. That happens quite a bit on the weekly and the daily chart, not so much on the monthly chart. But as you guys can see on the weekly chart back here in 2018, we were actually bullish for several months here, but we were just basically trading sideways on the MACD, and it didn't really mean a whole lot. I think the same thing just happened on the monthly chart, which is why I'm not that concerned about it. As you can see, we ended up going bearish again because the MACD never got very, very bullish here, and it didn't really mean anything. That's what the monthly chart looks like. I wanted to go ahead and address that because a lot of you guys have been asking me questions about that. On the other hand, though, as you can see, Bitcoin's MACD has been converging bullish on itself for 7 weeks now, and when we have this cross, it's probably going to be a pretty significant one because our signal line here is trading sideways, but the MACD line is moving up very quickly. That's going to be a significant cross, and in the history of Bitcoin, when we cross bullish with exuberance, and when we're already looking like we're trying to start a bull market, it normally means one thing: breakout and bull market. Guys, this is a critical time for Bitcoin. We've been in a downtrend for the last 6 or 7 months, and Bitcoin has not really had a good opportunity to restart the bull market. We tried to right here, but it just didn't result in anything. Bitcoin, quite simply, was not in a position to start a bull market just yet. All the technicals hadn't lined up. The weekly chart MACD was not set up the way that it needed to be. A lot of the things on the RSI weren't correct. There were a lot of moving averages that weren't where they needed to be. Bitcoin had simply not gotten above all the moving averages that needed to be above. There were a lot of reasons why Bitcoin didn't break bullish and start a bull market here. Most of the reasons that that didn't happen back then are coming into play right now. Now, before we wrap the video out, I want to go on record and say something, and that is that I was talking about my intuition and gut and your experience and your wisdom in markets a lot earlier, and how, especially on the minute chart, you're going to use a lot of that. And I want to tell you what my gut is telling me, guys. My gut is telling me that Bitcoin's going to have a little bit of a bigger rejection here from 9K before we break it. I've got a weird feeling that we're not just going to break it in the next 48 hours. I've got a weird feeling that we're going to reject maybe down to around $8,500, and then we're going to rally from there. I don't quite feel totally confident that we're just going to have a solid breakout in the next couple of days. It might take a little bit of time. I still think it's going to happen, but I don't know that it's going to happen as quickly as some of us were hoping for. And actually, as I'm saying that, down here on the minute chart, we're breaking an uptrend on the minute chart. This blue trend line is one that we were looking at in the first cohort earlier today, and we're breaking it. We also have this longer term uptrend on the minute chart, but at the end of the day, guys, I think Bitcoin needs a little bit more time to consolidate, a little more time to lock in gains, and a little bit more time for Bitcoin to actually trade sideways. And I think it's perfectly healthy if we do that. I don't have a problem with it. My gut's just telling me, you know what, I have a weird feeling that we're not going to break through this in the next 2 or 3 days. It's hard to explain that sometimes, guys. It's hard to explain sometimes why you have those feelings, but if you're an experienced trader and analyst like I am, sometimes it's a good idea to listen to that. And I can get into that in another video we talk about in CT2A. But that intuition, especially if it's well-trained, actually only if it's well-trained, is a very valuable resource, and mine most certainly is. So I'm going to listen to it and convey it to you guys that I've got this feeling that Bitcoin isn't going to break in the next 2 or 3 days. But with that said, I do want to go into the What's the Trade segment and show you how to set up that trade just in case it does or when it does. Now, I had this position set up here for around 89.20, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not too happy with it anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and update it. This trade position was set up to maybe make 1 or 2% profit and then be on leverage. So maybe that'd be 25 to 30% profit. As we can see here, it'd be about a 1.5% move with leverage. You can make quite a bit of money doing that. But instead of doing a scalp here, because I might not be around when the breakout happens, I had that set up last night when I was actively watching the chart. A lot of work to do today, so I might not be around. I want to set up for a longer term position rather than a scalp. So instead of entering around 89.20, I'm going to set an entry position up here around like 90.75. And the reason for that is because this is going to be a lower leverage trade. It's not going to be 25x. It might be 5 to 10x at most. It's going to be a longer term trade. I'm probably going to hold this for a little bit longer, and the exit position is going to be a little bit higher. So we're looking at an entry position of around $9,125, actually, I'm going to say, and I'll show you why I changed that here in just a second. And we're going to be looking for an exit position up here at about $9,950. And the reason I'm setting an exit position around $995 is because Bitcoin is going to get resistance at 10K. It's a big even. It's an important level for Bitcoin to get past. We're probably going to reject there for a little bit before we definitely break through it. So I want to take some profits on the trade from there. So as you can see, if we were to make that trade, that leaves us with about a 9% margin of profit. And if we're using, say, 5x leverage, that's a 45% gain over the span of maybe a week. Okay, so it's not exactly a short-term trade, but it is one that's relatively safe, and we know how we want to set our stop loss as well. Our entry position is around $9,125. Our exit's around $9,950. We'll put our stop loss down here around, say, $8,850. If we set that up with our risk to reward calculator, as you can see, that gives us a risk to reward ratio of 3, and that's pretty healthy. So you might be asking yourself, Jeb, why did you change from $8,920 to $9,125? Why did you change from $9,075 to $9,125? It's because of this. There's one technical that I haven't been talking about a whole lot, and I want to show it to you. The 200 daily moving average. Guys, this is a very important moving average. It's one that I have most certainly not been giving enough attention, but it's one that nevertheless should be given attention. As you guys know, Bitcoin is above this moving average during bull markets. It's below it during bear markets, and right now, guys, a lot of the resistance that we're seeing is coming up right towards this as well. It's sitting around $9,100. So if we're going to see a bullish breakout and we're going to enter a long, I'd like to be above that as well. So there's no reason to enter a position right before the resistance. Why not give it another $50 and wait for Bitcoin to break above it and then enter your position? So I'm going to say the entry position is around 9,125. If you want to be even more safe and you might want to wait for the breakout, you could upgrade that all the way up to $9,200 and you still have a pretty high risk to reward ratio. Remember two things about that though, guys. This is not financial advice, just a trade that I see and that I'm going to try and execute on. And also make sure to always use a stop loss. No matter what, do your own thinking for yourself. And most importantly, guys, this is literally the most important thing. Don't sue me if you make a mistake. I'm joking, of course. If you want to sue me, you can sue me. Just please, have mercy. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for the analysis of today's video. I'm feeling good about Bitcoin, even though we might have a little bit of a retracement, a little bit of consolidation for the next 2 to 3, 4 maybe days, but I am looking for a breakout on Bitcoin, and it really looks like we're going to manage it if Bitcoin is able to get above like $9,200. That's where we need to see. We need to see Bitcoin get above all these levels of resistance, get back into bull market territory. If we can get above this downtrending moving average, the 200 daily simple moving average, this downtrend on the log, the 9,000, if we can get like $400 or $500 higher than we are now, we're going to be good. And we just need to get up there and stay up there for a little while. Until that happens though, guys, remember this uptrend could crash and burn at any time. We could be going straight back down to $5,500. So until we've had that breakout, be very careful with your trades. Make sure you're being logical. Make sure you're being rational. Make sure you're not being emotional. And make sure if you do have a lot of experience in the market that you're listening to that gut feeling. And because at the end of the day, it's probably going to give you some valuable information. You just need to know when to take it and when not to. And guys, before we wrap the video up, there's something I really want to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump to full screen. Perfect. All right. So guys, at the end of the video here, I want to talk about something. I want to rehash something that we talked about in the first cohort live stream this morning. And it was on the concept of grit. I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story. So indulge me for a couple of minutes here. I was drinking my coffee this morning, and I normally put milk in my coffee because, I love milk. I promise I'm making a point here. Believe me, I promise. When I was a kid, I would get really sick in the mornings because of milk. For whatever reason, milk in my stomach in the morning, those three things, they just don't go together, okay? I forgot about that, though, because it's been so many years since it's been an issue. But I sat down and I said, okay, we're going to do a first cohort live stream this morning. We're going to do some coffee and crypto. We're going to get everybody together, like 20 of you guys in the live stream. It was great. A lot of fun. Ended up being great. Almost didn't happen. The reason is because as I was getting ready for the live stream, I walked into the kitchen and I was like, I feel really queasy. I felt like I was about to throw up. And I really just didn't feel well. And there was a thought that went through my head, and it was like, Jeb, don't even do the live stream. You might vomit. You don't want to do that on stream. You just stop. Don't even do the live stream. You just need to take care of your health for a second. And there's a big part of me that was like, yeah, okay, we're not going to do the live stream. Let's make sure that we're okay. But then the entrepreneur in me came out. And I remember back to something that a man named Grant Cardone said. And a lot of you guys have varying opinions on Grant Cardone. Believe me, he's not perfect by any stretch, but he does say some things that are very interesting. And one of the first videos I ever saw by him, he was out looking at real estate, and he was looking to buy like $100 million in real estate, and he was out in the rain. And he said in the video, all the people that he was working with said, Grant, don't go out and looking at real estate right now. It's raining. It's terrible outside. Don't do that. And he made the point that everybody says that. When it's raining, don't go outside. When it's raining or when things are bad, don't do work right now. Let's just pause, put the brakes on. We'll do it tomorrow. But the thing is, guys, in business, in entrepreneurship, in cryptocurrency trading, whatever you're doing, if you're trying to become successful, it is, even if you don't want to look at it like this, it is a competition. And if your competition is sitting there when it's raining, if your competition is sitting there when they feel sick and they're not coming into work, even though they are perfectly capable of doing so, then they are missing out. I could have not done the coffee and crypto live stream this morning because I was feeling sick, but I decided, you know what? We're going to push through and we're going to take the chance because I know I'm not sick. I know this is going to blow over because I know it's because of the milk. I know I'm fine. let's do the live stream anyway, even though there's a part of me saying I shouldn't. That's called grit, because the live stream that we did this morning ended up being one of the best coffee and crypto live streams and one of the biggest coffee and crypto live streams we've ever done. Had a great time. Everybody learned something, walked away from it with a good experience, and it wouldn't have happened if I had just said, I'm not even going to go into work today. I'm not even going to try. Because here's the thing, like I said, everything is competition. When your competitors have bad days, they might take the day off, but are you hungry enough to want what you want out of life? If you're trying to be an entrepreneur, if you're trying to be an athlete, if you're trying to be a cryptocurrency trader, if you're trying to beat everyone, if you're trying to get the #1 high score in asteroids back in 85, I don't care what you're doing, are you gonna come into work and work even when you don't want to? Because honestly, guys, if you turn bad days into good days, and you get really good at turning bad days into good days, you can turn a bad life into a good life. And I don't know about you, but I want the good life. I want the life that I dream of. I want my dreams to come true. And to do that, you have to work even when you don't want to. I'm not saying if you're sick, go into work and get everybody sick. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you feel like not doing something because it's uncomfortable, not because you can't. If it's uncomfortable, do it anyway, okay? Because most of your competitors are not going to do that. But if you do that, you're going to stand out and you're going to be successful because you took what was their weakness and turned it into your strength. That's why even when I do sometimes get sick, I have a pretty strong immune system, but normally when I do get sick, I make videos anyway because I don't care. I'm not going to miss days because my throat hurts, okay? If I'm going to injure myself, it's different. But if I'm not going to injure myself and it's just uncomfortable, I'm going to make a video because I don't want to miss out on uploads when other YouTubers are uploading and when you guys might be going to another YouTuber in my competition. Love you guys, by the way. But I'm coming for you. So guys, again, not trying to be preachy, but it is something I learned and something that I noticed this morning, and people in the first cohort were asking me for a little motivational speech at the end of the video, so I went ahead and did that in the first cohort, and I wanted to rehash what we talked about there. If you're interested in the first cohort, the link's down below. But anyway, guys, before we wrap the video out, I do first want to mention the product that allows this channel to be possible, CT2A. Guys, there's over 34 videos and over 10 hours of high-quality content in the Academy, and over 1,100 students have already completed it. Until Friday, for another 48 hours or so, there's the January 2020 coupon code that you can use at checkout to get $40 off. I highly recommend you guys use that because the content that is here is worth every single penny and something cool is about to happen. In the next 3 months or so, as soon as we get our new camera, we're going to be updating every single video in CT2A, and we're also going to be adding 16 more for a grand total of 50 videos and close to 15 hours of content, and everyone who is in the Academy before we do that is going to get access to all of that new content totally for free. My name is not EA. We don't do DLC. I'm going to give everyone who is already in the Academy all of that new free content free of charge. That's always been the policy. Once you join CT2A, you get access to all current and all future content. There are people that have been in CT2A since there were 20 videos in the Academy, and they've gotten access to all of that for $79 when it originally launched. You really don't have anything to lose. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee, and if you guys are curious about what other students are thinking, I recommend you join our free Discord server down below. Puppy bloopers. I recommend you join the free Discord server down below so you can actually see what our students are thinking. Just ask in the general chat, hey, is anybody in CT2A? What do you think of it? Can I ask you a couple questions? Like I said, guys, it's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. You shoot me an email, ask for a refund, you're going to get your money back, no questions asked. Guys, it is the Academy that allows this channel to continue growing the way that it is, and I want to thank all of you guys who have joined so far and for all the awesome reviews that you've left in the Discord server and that I honestly have 100 screenshots or more of in a folder on my computer with. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap out the video. If you're interested, the coupon code January 2020, $40 off, is down below. Use that at checkout, and you're going to get access to an amazing product while also helping to support the growth of this channel. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. But first, I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.